obviously Jermaine is a great player. Michael Clemens is a great player, and then Carl being back. Again, all three great players. I mean, we play together well. And me and Jermaine have some chemistry already here in OTAs. Inside, outside, man, don't matter to me. The message is the same, telling me the same thing they're telling everybody else is that, I kind of be moved around a lot. And that goes for everybody, they do a good job of putting people in great positions inside, outside. So, it doesn't really matter to me.
When we talked to you last year, we talked about Justin Tuck and how he did a lot and how you watched him a lot when you were growing up. Do you see his and how dominant he was able to be inside at times as something you're going to be able to do this year now with the extra additions? Like, are you excited about the concept of playing more inside?
Yeah, I think, we take it back to 2020, and, that was my first year ever playing inside, and that was just all based on, God-given ability, and you take that with experience, and you take that with, the guys that we've added to this team, and, the coaches and the defense that we play and the great position they put us in. I'm excited about the future, excited about what's to come this year, and not only for myself, for my teammates. We all make each other better, and I think that's what makes our room special.
What are the differences when you're, specifically when you're pass rushing against an offensive tackle compared to when you're inside against a guard? Like, how are those guys different from a defensive?
Man, I would mostly say, it just happens faster. So I say, you just have to transition more. You have to worry about slide protection, so sometimes you have to do a little more power to work some of your finesse stuff. And that's really the only difference. A lot of those guys are slower, bigger guys, wider guys. So you just got to get them moving. I think that's where, my agility and my lateral quickness comes into play. And that's what I was able to do well. And again, me and Quentin joke about it all the time, but I'm rushing with Q. Q gets a lot of the attention, so my job is to win a one-on-one, and I have to do that.
What's it gonna be like then with Carl right into that?
I think anybody who was here in camp last year seen what Carl was doing, and how excited we are to have him back now. A great job that he does, taking care of his body, and now, to see him focus, and, we spoke today, and, how excited he is to get back and how much he studied last year, kind of use it as a redshirt year for him. What a great job he's done. He looks great. He still looks like an action figure. I think we all, want to be Carl when we grow up.
How good do you think this defensive line can be?
I think it's kind of cliche to say, but the sky is the limit. You talk about Carl, you talk about Vinny, Sheldon, Q, myself. You add Shep in there, and Tanzel, Jermaine. We don't have any weaknesses, and when it comes to everybody brings a different element to the table. So I think we do a good job of being well-rounded in that aspect. So we just have to be together, we have to play, and we have to live up to that, on paper it's one thing, you could talk about what we have on paper, but we have to go out there and we have to be there and we have to live that, and, that's what our plan is.
Coaches have talked a lot to us about the rotation that you guys obviously did a lot of rotating last year to keep guys fresh. Is it difficult, as a player, if you had a chance to play 80% of the snaps in one system or say 50 or 60 in the Jet system, how do you balance, your desire for individual performance yet with team?
I'd say with that, you got to understand, anybody playing 80% of the snaps isn't playing all those full speed. So you take that 80% and you turn it to okay, well, if he plays 50% of the snaps, those snaps are going to be full speed. And I say, kind of like in 2020, I played, I want to say, finished the season with maybe 45% of the snaps played or something. We were able to get in there and we were all able to rush well. I was able to get in there and, be able to be fresh. And that's all they're talking about is getting fresh guys in there to, one wave after another, we just come and keep hitting you. So instead of one guy playing 80% of the snaps, some of those are naturally going to be taken off. You're going to pick and choose your battles. I think their plan is smart, and, that's what we live by.
I think kind of building off what Rich said, though, is even if you say you're not able to give 100, go 100 miles an hour on all those plays if you're playing 85, 90, or 80% of the snaps, there's still statistics that you will compile by being on the field. You know, whether the running back comes in the area, you bring him down, it's another tackle. Eventually it adds up. That when the season ends, and if you want to get paid, you see 80 tackles as opposed to 60. You know, so is that on your mind at all? Like,
Nah. I mean, we're talking about little things, you know, and I mean, the name of the game is to keep guys fresh, and you know, I think we're all attacking, and the sacks come with that, you know, like. I think, you know, you talk about pass rush, and that's what everybody wants to talk about is, oh, man, you know, you're going to miss out on the sacks. Well, you're not really going to miss out on them because then my next team, Q gets a sack, then it's 2nd and 13. Then I'm able to come in the game, I get a sack, or, you know, next drive I get a sack, then it's 2nd and 14 for the next group. So it's all the same thing, you know, whether you play 60% of the plays or 30%, like, you're going to have opportunities, and that's part of playing as a group.
You just hit on it, we always concentrate on the pass rush, right? But one thing this defensive line did lose is Foley from last year. He was a really good run stopper. Does that mean other guys have to kind of pick it up in that area this year?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, you can't say anything negative about Foley and how he went about business. But I mean, the guys, you know, Sheldon is a great player, and you know, he does a great job of getting vertical when he has a chance to. Quinnen does a great job stopping the run, and you know, I wouldn't sleep on Shep or John Marshall or even Tanzel. Like, we have some great guys, and just looking for opportunity to play and get out there and show what they can do. So, you know, training camp is going to be a great opportunity for them, and I mean, I have all hope in those guys. I know that they're going to get the job done.